the Conservatives' key message in this election was that they would get Brexit done. They now do have an overwhelming mandate to do that. What's the initial reaction been in Brussels?
Well, as soon as the exit poll came out, we had France's Europe Minister Amélie de Montchalin telling us that this seemed to be delivering what France wanted to see in the shape of clarification over which direction the UK was going on Brexit. That's something that France has been saying for quite a long time. You remember that France was very much the holdout country when it came to offering the UK long extensions to the Brexit process, saying that they wanted to be able to move on from this. She also said that what's important for France is not how Britain divorces from the EU, but what happens next, the future relationship. That's been echoed by France's brand new European Commissioner, Thierry Breton. He said the same thing, essentially, no more uncertainty, there will be Brexit, and the EU wants to rebuild relations with London, which has been such an important and large member of the EU for such a long time. I think it's important to give you a bit of reaction from Ireland as well, which is a very, very important EU member state in terms of Brexit. Simon Coveney, the Foreign Minister and Deputy Prime Minister, he said that the Irish government is ready to seize the momentum now that this new British government Parliament is coming into place, and said focus on getting the Northern Irish Assembly instalment up and running for the people in Northern Ireland. So a reminder to keep an eye on what's happening in Northern Ireland after very interesting results there, with more nationalists than unionists being voted in. Essentially, here in the European Union, this is no secret, they want to move on from Brexit. They've been saying this for a long time. We didn't want Brexit. The UK public voted for Brexit. If that's what you really want, then please tell us how you want to do it and when it's going to happen. All of those questions seem to be answered now. And so, you know, they know how many member states they've got. They know how much money they're going to have in their budget. Quite a lot of projects have been pushed to the bottom of the pile, pushed to the side, not able to move on. And now the EU is wanting to just get on with its own work, essentially.
So what exactly does this mean for Brexit? Boris Johnson has said that he wants to push his withdrawal agreement through Parliament before Christmas.
Well, absolutely. As it stands, Boris Johnson has a working majority in the British Parliament, which means he no longer has to worry about those very Eurosceptic holdouts from the ERG who are wanting the hardest kind of Brexit possible. He has a majority that means that he will be able to pass that withdrawal agreement through Parliament. And the deadline for that is January 31st. As you said, it looks like he wants to get it done a bit sooner than that. That would suit the EU as well. That takes the UK into the famous transition phase. Just a reminder, that means that the UK is no longer, in any legal sense, an EU member state, but it maintains EU laws that apply in the UK until the end of a transition phase, which is due to run out at the end of 2020. That includes new EU laws that might come into force during that time, temporarily. And it also obviously opens up the time for what everyone agrees is the most important aspect of Brexit, that talks about the future relationship. What kind of trading relationship is the UK going to have with the EU? And of course, that is very much the hardest part of this process.